All right, baseball fans, welcome back for another deep dive. We're down in Fort Myers, Florida for the Roy Hobbs World Series, and man, the action is heating up in the Legends Division 53+ male.
It is. I mean, these guys are proving that age is just a number when it comes to playing some hard-nosed baseball.
For sure, for sure. And the fans are loving every minute of it. Okay, let's jump right into the scores, shall we? You ready for this? The Minneapolis Millers, they just edged out the St. Louis A's by a single run. Can you believe that? 20-19.
Wow. Talk about a nail-biter. I bet that game had everyone on the edge of their seats.
Oh, absolutely. Every inning was a battle. And you know what else was a battle? That game between the Baltimore Krushers and the Huntsville Havoc. The Krushers pulled off an 18-15 win, but it was a real back-and-forth affair.
That's what I love about this term is you never know what's going to happen.
You got that right. Speaking of excitement, have you seen those banana sharks? They are living up to their name.
They're on a roll, aren't they?
They devour the Chicago Jacks, not once, but twice. First game, 22-1. Second game, 22-2.
Wow, that's a statement.
Now, you know, while you're watching all this incredible baseball, you got to keep your energy up, right?
You definitely do.
So head on over to Johnny's at PDC, the tournament headquarters. He's got those amazing grilled burgers and hot dogs that everyone's been raving about.
Yeah, they're legendary.
And while you're there, you can grab some awesome team gear at the shop. Show your team spirit. All right, back to the scores. The Dayton Angels, they're having themselves a week. They've racked up 3 wins already.
3 wins. That's impressive. Who did they beat?
First, they took down the Albany Capitals 18-4. Then, they shut down the Akron Summa Ortho Brewers 16-6. And just to cap it all off, they beat the St. Louis Patriots 4-2.
Wow. Talk about a dominant performance.
I know, right? Now remember, folks, while you're soaking in all this baseball action, make sure you fuel up at Johnny's at PDC. Those burgers, man, they're out of this world.
They really are. It's the perfect place to take a break and recharge before heading back to the Diamond.
And speaking of back to the Diamond, the Orlando Royals, they had a bit of a mixed bag today.
Oh, what happened?
First, they lost to the Westchester Fury, 15-11. But then they came back strong and defeated the Chicago Pilots, 22-2.
Talk about a roller coaster ride. You got to give them credit for bouncing back like that.
Exactly. Now, before I forget, we got to remind everyone about something important. Besides those amazing burgers at Johnny's.
What's that? Don't leave us hanging.
Don't forget to vote. It's our civic duty, folks. Every vote counts. Okay, back to the games. The Southeast Cardinals soared past the Cuyahoga Indians with a 13-5 win. And the USVI Hurricanes, they just blew past the Huntsville Havoc 13-4. Raymond Cintron had a fantastic game for the Hurricanes.
He did. He really did.
He went 4 for 5, 3 RBIs, and a stolen base.
Speed on the bases, that's always a game changer.
And speaking of game changers, the Florida Sharks, they were unstoppable today, crushing the Chesapeake Rays 12-2.
Whoa, that's a big win.
And then they went on to take down the Okaloosa Slammers 17-7. Doug Johnson really brought the lumber in that game. Okay, we have breaking news. The Florida Muskrats, they just trampled the Albany Capitals 15-4.
Ouch. Looks like the Capitals are having a tough time finding their rhythm.
It happens, but hey, there's still plenty of baseball left to be played. You know what else is still going strong?
What's that?
Johnny's Grill down at PDC. Seriously, folks, you got to try these burgers. Best in Fort Myers.
It's true, you won't regret it.
Okay, on to some more scores. The Tampa Harbor Cats, they sailed past Bellacino's Red Sox with a 22-5 victory, and the Orlando Brewers shut down the Fort Myers Cubs 12-1. Kenan Mekase was on fire for the Brewers.
Sounds like some impressive pitching and hitting today.
It was. Mekase went 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored.
Wow, that deserves a celebratory burger and hot dog from Johnny's, don't you think?
Absolutely. All right, we'll be back with more exciting game recaps from the Roy Hobbs World Series after a quick... Actually, you know what? Let's just keep going. We've got more baseball to talk about. We're back with more action-packed games from the Roy Hobbs World Series Legends Division. These guys are they're incredible.
I know, right? The energy is electric.
Speaking of electric, the South Dakota Rushmores, they put on a show, crushing the Minnesota Twins 22-5.
Wow, that's a beatdown.
It was. And the Glory Days, they lived up to their name, taking down the Minnesota Bandits Red 12-5. Bob Down was the star of that game, went 4 for 5, 2 home runs, and 5 RBIs.
Now that's a performance for the highlight reel.
It really is. And you know what else deserves a highlight?
What's that?
Johnny's Burgers and Hot Dogs down to PDC. We got to fuel up for all this excitement.
You're absolutely right. Those burgers are a home run.
Speaking of home runs, the Baltimore Thunder, they unfortunately fell to the Chicago Knights, 13-1.
Oh, that's tough.
But hey, that's baseball, right? You win some, you lose some.
Exactly. But even in a loss, you can still see some amazing plays.
Absolutely. The Knights pitcher, Rick Hernandez, he was dealing. He pitched a great game and went 2 for 3 at the plate.
That's impressive.
It is. Okay, the Nova Scotia Monarchs, they showed some real grit, defeating the USVI Hurricanes 12-8.
I love seeing those come from behind victories.
Me too, me too. And speaking of coming from behind, have you made your way over to Johnny's at PDC yet?
You know, I haven't had a chance to.
You got to check it out.
Yeah.
Seriously, best burgers and hot dogs in Fort Myers. Plus, they've got a great team shop there.
Oh, really? Maybe I'll head over there after this game.
You should. You won't regret it. Okay. Back to the action. The New Jersey Twins, they had a big win against the Minnesota Cardinals, 21-6. Tony Navedo and Troy Fisher, they both had 3 RBIs, and Pete Scalera and Tony Midario also had some key hits.
Wow, that's a lot of runs.
It was a hitting clinic.
Yeah.
And guess what? The Minneapolis Millers and the St. Louis A's went head-to-head again.
Another close one.
You bet. The Millers won again, but it was a tight game, 19-17. Those two teams are really putting on a show this week.
That's what makes this tournament so exciting. Every game is a battle.
You got that right. Now, how about this? Brett Hesser of the Crystal Clinic Indians, he pitched a complete game shutout against the Kodak Reds. Final score, 20-0.
Whoa, a shutout. That's amazing.
It was. He even had 7 strikeouts. Okay, let's talk about some teams who are really making a statement this week. The DC Pirates, they just cruised past the Chesapeake Rays, 16-10. And the Dayton Wolves, they had a close one against the St. Louis Patriots, but they pulled out the win, 4-2.
Those Wolves are a tough team to beat. They never give up.
You got that right. And speaking of tough teams, the Omaha Indians, they pulled off an upset, defeating the Westchester Fury 12-8.
Wow, another upset. This tournament is full of surprises.
It really is. You know what else is a surprise?
What's that?
How good Johnny's burgers are.
Oh, right. You've been talking about those burgers all day.
Because they're that good. Okay, back to the scores. The Americans baseball team, they had a dominant win over the Rima Foxes, 22-8. Eddie Serrano went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles.
That's some impressive hitting.
It is. And the Hellcats, they clawed their way to a victory over the Midwest Pirates, 10-3.
Those Hellcats are playing with a lot of heart.
They are. It's been an amazing week of baseball so far at the Roy Hobbs World Series.
It really has. These guys are an inspiration to us all.
And you know what else is inspiring? The dedication of Johnny down at PDC, grilling up those delicious burgers and hot dogs for all the fans and players. He's a true legend.
He is. And speaking of legends, don't forget to exercise your right to vote in the upcoming election. It's one of the most important things we can do as citizens.
You got that right. Every vote counts. Okay, one last score update before we move on. The Lake Bears, they had a big win over the Chicago Pilots, 15-0.
Wow, another shutout. These pitchers are on fire today.
They are. All right, we'll be right back with more exciting updates from the Legends Division. And we're back with more from the Roy Hobbs World Series Legends Division. These guys, they just keep on swinging.
They do. It's inspiring to watch, you know.
It really is. Speaking of inspiring, have you tried those burgers over at Johnny's at PDC yet?
I haven't. You've been mentioning them all day, though, so I'm starting to think I should.
You absolutely should. I mean, come on. Best burgers and hot dogs in Fort Myers. Plus, support the tournament, grab some merch at the team shop while you're there.
Sounds like a plan.
It is. All right, back to the action. The HPK Oilers, they snagged a win against the Maine Black Bears, 13-8. Bobby Klefsauce, he was the man of the hour for the Oilers, going 6 for 6 at the plate with 3 RBIs.
Wow, 6 for 6. That's incredible.
Talk about a hitting machine. And then we had the DuPage Red Sox taking down the Michigan Dodgers 8-2.
Yeah.
Jimmy Romano, he was a big part of that win, going 2 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs.
Home runs, man, they never get old.
Never. And speaking of exciting plays, those Jersey Bananas, they just peeled away with a 13-2 win over those Chicago Giants.
The Bananas are looking strong. Who are the key players in that game?
Oh, well, Steve Olszewski and Lynn Stroll, they both had a great day at the plate, went 2 for 3.
Yeah.
Really helped secure that victory.
That's what it's all about, teamwork.
Exactly. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, yeah. The Westchester Fury, they squeaked out a win against the Orlando Royals, 15-11. Lou Vernagallo was the hero there, hitting 2 home runs and driving in 5 runs.
Wow, 2 home runs. That's clutch hitting.
It really is. Well, folks, that just about wraps up another exciting week of baseball here at the Roy Hobbs World Series.
It's been an incredible tournament so far.
It has. So many great plays, so much passion. As we head into the final games, I'm curious, Who do you think has a real shot at taking home the championship?
That's a tough one. There have been so many standout teams. I mean, those Banana Sharks, they've got such a powerful offense. And the Dayton Angels, they've been consistently winning.
Oh, and we can't count out those Baltimore Krushers. They've shown they can really battle back.
You're right. It's really anyone's game at this point. But even if your favorite team doesn't win it all, I think we can all agree that the Roy Hobbs World Series is about more than just the final score.
Absolutely. It's about the love of the game, the camaraderie, the sportsmanship.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And remember, no matter who you're rooting for, we can all agree that Johnny's Burgers are the real MVPs of this tournament.
You got that right. Those burgers are a home run every time.
They are. Well, that's it for our deep dive into the Roy Hobbs World Series this week. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And remember, keep swinging for the fences.
And don't forget to stop by Johnny's at PDC for the best burgers and hot dogs in town.
We'll see you next time for more baseball excitement.